Hello, and this is Talk for Light, episode 189. We are 189 episodes deep into Talk for Glory. We are 24 hours removed off of Monday Night Raw, and we are 48 hours removed off of AEW Forbidden Door. And you guys got predictions, you guys got entrances. It's only right that you guys got the review. So, like predictions, I'm your host, NJPW, here to bring you episode 189 for AEW Forbidden Door review. So this review is going to be different from the predictions. I'm not going to lie to you guys, there were some matches I was more so about, couldn't really give two shits. So I kind of broke it down into what I really liked. So you guys still going to get my thoughts. Now, if there's a match that you guys really liked, comment down what you guys liked. But to start us off, it is freshly squeezed. Probably the ultimate underdog of AEW, Orange Cassidy versus the submission master, the man that has 1,000 submissions and doesn't know which one to tap you out to. He is TMDK's frontman. He is Zack Sabre Jr. So, I just want to clarify here that I rewatched Forbidden Door earlier today just to avoid the recency bias of being there. And I loved it just as much as I was there watching it here at home. And this match went way longer than I expected. I was expecting this to be an easy wrap-up for Zack Sabre Jr. And it really does show that when it comes to submission holds, Zack's got plenty of them. But Orange Cassidy, he really, how do I say this? He showed me new tricks that I thought I wasn't going to be able to see. I thought Orange Cassidy was going to pull a fast one. He's going to pull out one orange punch, or he's going to do a roll-up. But no, Zack Sabre Jr., no matter what Orange Cassidy decided to pull out, Zack wasn't having it. Zack was not having any of it. He said, "Listen, Orange Bullocks, I've seen that international title run, or your international title run, and you're all squeezed up. You don't got any more juice in you, and I'm gonna squeeze the last bits out of him," which Zack did when he put in that badass submission. I don't know what's the official name of that, but I think that's the submission that can get Zack Sabre Jr. an IWGP title run. So now the real question is, what's next for both guys? And I'd like to easily say, what's next is, well, Orange Cassidy needs to reevaluate his game plan because he has no friends. His friends left him. Maybe he needs to go somewhere and find new friends. All he has is Ishii, and Ishii barely likes anyone. So I like this idea that this is now ground zero for Orange Cassidy. But where does this leave Zack Sabre Jr. now? I'm going to need Zack Sabre Jr. to carry this momentum, this energy, into the G1. And hopefully he hits the finals. But I'm not going to talk too much about Zack Sabre Jr. and the G1 because, guys, we're in July, which means you guys are going to get both the 5-Star Grand Prix and the G1 predictions videos coming this month. But before both of those, little spoiler, you guys are also going to get this week Money in the Bank. So, right, guys, keep those notifications on. No matter where you're listening, whether it's Spotify, whether it's, well, not Spotify, whether it's YouTube, or maybe you guys are listening on Twitch, as this is being streamed on both. But be all and end all, congratulations, Zack Sabre Jr. Keep up the momentum, man. Next match is an Owen Hart Cup tournament match between Dragon versus Dragon. This is the American Dragon versus the Japanese Dragon. I pay no mind to that. The American Dragon versus the Japanese Dragon. Bryan Danielson versus Shingo Takagi. And dear God, I'm not going to lie to you, this may not have been the match of the night, but it's definitely top 2. Bryan versus Shingo was awesome. And it's crazy to say that. I think just as much as like a lot of AEW talent were real good headliners here, I think LIJ were such great headliners, whether it's Hiromu, Titan, and Suji on the pre-show, or Naito in the world title match, or Shingo here. I really do think that LIJ needs to be talked about more when it comes to Forbidden Door. And just thinking about the idea that this was so LIJ focused, it makes me curious to see, will they take this momentum that LIJ got in the States and bring it back into Japan? But in this match, Dragon versus Dragon, oh my God, Bryan basically just taking Shingo's arm apart, and Shingo basically just demolishing Bryan from the bell. It was a power match versus submission match, and I could not have been more on the edge of my seats. A lot of people are saying, well, it's obvious Bryan's winning. Dude, if you guys saw how Shingo was beating this dude's ass, you guys would have thought twice. Maybe Shingo might have a chance. Maybe we might get Ospreay versus Shingo at Wembley. Maybe that's a possibility. But in the end, via submission, which I didn't see Shingo tap, I thought this was via stoppage. And I was sitting next to one of my friends in the crowd, and I'm watching Bryan apply this submission, and I'm going, oh my God, this is a stoppage. This has to be a stoppage. Shingo can't get out of this, and his arm's about to snap off. You've got to tap, man. And they're just ringing the bell. I don't blame Shingo for tapping. When you can't put a dragon down, you got to just put him out of commission for X amount of time. And that's exactly what Bryan did. Now, would I ever want to see this match again? I know Bryan's probably going to stop being full-time soon. Yes, I actually want to see this match again somewhere down the line. So whether you give it to us in the Continental Classics or next year's G1, give me Bryan versus Shingo Part 2. Now let's get into some championship matches. It's for the TBS and the New Japan Strong Women's Championship. It is Stephanie Vaquer versus Mercedes Moné, which I'm going to keep saying Sasha Banks throughout this whole talk. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I did not give 2 shits about this match. And it just had that feeling of, I don't know who's going to win. It lacked that. And for me, that's big in wrestling. Now, things can be obvious, but if you can make it 99% obvious and give me the 1% to believe, this other person may have a chance, then it's a good match to me. But in not 1 second of this, I thought Stephanie is going to win this. Stephanie was amazing in this match. The crowd was hot for Stephanie. And like I said in predictions, I didn't know anything about Stephanie Vaquer, minus her match against Azumi and Julia, and I guess now her match with Sasha. But wow, I need to see more of this girl. So if you guys have any Stephanie Vaquer match recommendations, I'm more than all ears. But in the end, Sasha Banks with the win via submission. And I'm not going to lie, I was actually surprised at how fast Stephanie had tapped. And sorry, I'm trying to regain my thoughts here. But there we go. I was more surprised at how fast she tapped. I'm actually really happy Sasha won via submission and not via her finisher, that spinning DDT thing, because I just have a strong distaste for it. I don't think it fits her. But that spin into crossface, perfect, amazing. Didn't see it coming. Congratulations, you finally got the belt that everyone kept saying, well, the belt was basically for you. Will I care about that belt now? No. The TBS title. I care about the TBS title only because those three letters stand for one thing, and that is the TBS title stands for The Brit Show. Which leads me into my next thing I'm going to talk about, and that is the return of the Doctor. That is the return of DMD Britt Baker. After the match, Britt returns. The crowd goes wild. I think I lost my voice because of how hype I was. I think my friend lost his voice because of how hype he was. But everyone for the next 4 minutes was just straight chanting DMD, DMD. Now, the real question is, are we going to be hearing CEO or DMD? Because in Long Island, we heard a lot of DMD. So now the real question is, when are we getting this? Are we all sold on this match? Are we all in? Are we all out? I don't know. I am curious to see when we get that match. But beyond and end all, congratulations, Sasha Banks, on becoming the New Japan Strong Women's Champion. Now we're not out of talking about women's wrestling because the next match is Toni Storm, timeless Toni Storm versus the co-founder, whatever it is, Mina, the Venus Club Venus OG leader, Mina Shirakawa, for the AEW Women's Championship. And I've just got to say that as much as I loved Mina's work in Stardom currently, I was actually looking forward to this match here against Toni Storm. Now, like I said for the TBS title match, it takes me out when there's at any time I'm thinking to myself, it doesn't take me out. It invests me when I think there's a chance. And I just gotta say that there were at least maybe 2 times where I believe that Mina could have won. And the first one was when she did her glamorous DDT. The second one was when she did her glamorous pin. And that's because I don't think this gets talked enough about in Stardom. And it's the fact that a lot of wrestlers' flash pins finishers do the job a lot more than their original finishers. So what I mean by that is, take for example the Kishi Kaisei, which is Saki Kashima's finisher. That gets her a lot more wins than her kill switch finisher. Azumi Sushi, I believe, gets her more pinfall victories than her C4 finisher, or I'm not gonna say her numero uno submission. I think that gets her enough victories. And her C4 finisher and her double stomp finisher. But flash pins are very game enders in Stardom, and that needs to be talked about more. So when I saw her lock in the glamorous pin, I thought to myself, wait, Mina has a chance, holy shit. And then Toni Storm kicked out. But now it made me believe that Mina Shirakawa probably has a chance. But I will stand by the fact that this match probably should have been a special guest ref match with Mariah May as special guest ref. Because how do I say this? The story of Mina versus Toni isn't really championship focused. It's heavily Mariah May focused. And at the same time, while it's Mariah May focused, it's more of a convenience that Toni Storm is the AEW Women's Champion. Like, yes, these two want to fight, but it's more so, I want to fight you to show you that I'm Mariah's friend and that she loves me more and all these things. It just so happens that you are also a champion. So, minor wish. If this were to be told differently, I would have wanted Mariah May as special guest ref. But unlike the Wonder of Stardom Championship, it does not stay oh so cool. But the AEW Women's World Championship stays black and white. The TV stays black and white. And Toni Storm stays timeless and champion. Now let's bring it into my favorite match in wrestling. It is the ladder match for the TNT Championship. It is... One moment, guys. Time to fix that error. There we go. It is for the vacant TNT Championship. It is Konosuke Takeshita, Mark Briscoe, Jungle Boy Jack Perry, Dante Martin, Lio Rush, and ELP. I can't remember the last ladder match I got to see live. So seeing this, I was out of my seat just about every other 2 minutes. And maybe you can't tell by the TV. I couldn't tell by the TV. But when I tell you, the two hottest guys when it came to climbing that ladder, it was Konosuke Takeshita and a little bit Mark Briscoe. But I loved the Public Enemy, and that was Jungle Boy. Now, I'm going to say a little personal thing about my seating, and it was that I had so many CM Punk fans in my section. Every time Jack walked or crawled or hell limped towards that ladder, all I kept hearing was CM Punk, CM Punk. Guys, I get it. CM Punk climbed the ladder though to success as well, but we're not playing the comparison game here. The MVPs of this, hands down, is Mark Briscoe and Konosuke Takeshita. And I remember some people in my section going, Mark, you're ROH World Champion. You don't need this. Maybe he didn't need this match, but he needed to prove to all of the fans that even if you don't watch Ring of Honor, I am their world champion, and this is why you should watch us. Dante Martin and Lio Rush just keep showing me that they should have been in Best of Super Juniors. Maybe they'll be in Junior Tag League. ELP is a human highlight reel that I'm looking forward to watching him in the G1. But I'm not going to lie to you guys. Hearing ELP's theme song and seeing him live, it kind of clicks in me that he has nobody. He has Jado. And I understand that ELP is in Hantai basically, but he's basically GOD. Tama's gone. Tonga's gone. Hikuleo is allegedly gone. ELP is all alone. Now, here's my thing that I kind of want, and maybe this is just me fantasy booking, but I would want ELP in the United Empire. When it came to being as flashy and cool in the ring, for me personally, when it came to Will Ospreay, I thought, the only person I can think of that's this cool and smooth in the ring is El Phantasmo. And I'm not saying ELP should be leader. I'm saying that if one person is dooming a faction, like I've seen in other companies, maybe you need to add a person. Maybe you need to add a hint of coolness that person has. And TJP, you aren't having that hint of coolness, so how about we add ELP? Because I can't bear to see another faction die. Sorry about that, guys. But yeah, be on end all. I'll say this now, and I'll say this tomorrow and the day after. Congratulations, Jack Perry. Long live the scapegoat. Think about that, guys. Jack Perry goes from scapegoat, Actually, no. Jack Perry goes from a boy to a scapegoat to a champion. Crazy times in AEW. Crazy, crazy, crazy times. Now, time for one of the World Championship matches. We've come a long way, guys. Because remember, last year, the IWGP and AEW World titles opened to the Talk for World predictions and review. So let's be happy that we've come up a bit in the ranks. It is defending champion Jon Moxley versus challenger Tetsuya Naito for the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. This is probably going to sound wild to say, but this might have been like my top 7 matches. And it just had that feeling that it had anyone could win, but it also didn't really sell the idea that Mox could be going into the G1. And I think that was a problem I had with this. And I was explaining it to my friend as well right next to me, that if Naito loses, then Jon Moxley takes his G1 spot. And my first thought process was, there's no way in fuck with it. Hey, Mark, thanks for popping by, bro. But my problem with this one was just, there's no way in hell we're going to have Jon Moxley in the G1. But my whole shtick was this, with this one, was that they should have did what they did in Dominion. Hype up the idea that, hey, if Mox wins, New Japan doesn't have a world title. They did that with Evil, and a lot of people are just like, oh, I don't want Evil to be world champion. Guys, I'm sorry to say this, but I didn't want Naito to be world champion. If we went way back, we could look at exactly where I wanted it, and it was Shota Umino actually winning the IWGP World title from Jon Moxley. Now, a lot of you guys are going to say he's not ready, or this is too soon, or anything of those lines. Guys, it's 2024. Why are we still banking on Naito? To give him his moment, he had it. To win in front of the fans, he had it. To do his roll call, he had it. Guys, we need new people. Now, I will say thank you, Naito, for correcting your wrong and bringing the world title back to New Japan Pro Wrestling, making you, I believe, the second guy to hold the IWGP World title twice. The first guy was Okada. But damn, I was gonna make it. Oh, now I was gonna say thank you, Naito, for not pulling a TNA, as we only went titleless for only 79 days. Which is a lot better than TNA, because they went like 110 days without the world title. Yes, guys, TNA bashing does happen on Talk for Glory. But where does Jon Moxley go after this? Jon Moxley goes wherever the fuck he wants. He might go to GCW. Jon Moxley is literally good anywhere on the card. This loss did nothing for him. And I genuinely think that Jon Moxley might just go after the tag titles at this point. He's just doing whatever the hell he wants, man. And that's the thing I like about Jon Moxley. He's such a wild card. And it's the fact that I don't know fully what's he gonna do. I'm just spitballing. I might be wrong completely. This dude might actually take that one vacation that he was supposed to. And now the real question is, does this run get damaged by the G1? Because let's be real here, guys. Naito's not defending like 2 times right before the G1. This dude's walking into the tournament as IWGP World Champion. He's going to Wrestle Kingdom maybe as IWGP World Champion. But I can't talk about G1 predictions because that's coming. A lot of content for July, and it's only July 2nd, guys. But guys, one last time, congratulations, Naito, on becoming IWGP World Champion. Thank you for bringing back the world title to New Japan. Now we're here at the main event. So I want to thank everyone that'll be listening, viewing, everything of those natures. You guys already know what to do when it comes to Talk for Glory. The number one thing, well, not the number one thing, one of the top 3 things to do when it comes to Talk for Glory is follow the socials. So you guys already know to follow Young Smooth at Young Smooth TFG on his Twitter, Enigma _B4_ on my Twitter, Enigma _B4 on my TikTok, Enigma _B4 on my Instagram, Enigma _B4_ on my Twitch, Smooth A1 on his Twitch, Enigma _B4 on my Kick the Gaming website, guys. Remember, guys, to follow Talk for Glory everywhere, whether it's Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, anywhere that has a podcast, anywhere that there's wrestling, anywhere that there's a podcast that allows wrestling, Talk for Glory is there. Share this with your friends, families, pets, cousins, dogs, all that. And remember, guys, to enjoy wrestling. But before I even talk about all that closing out stuff, it's time for the main event. It is the AEW World Champion Swerve Strickland. Whoa, this was backwards. It is the AEW International Champion, the Commonwealth Kingpin, the Aerial Assassin, the 5-star matchmaker, the Billy Goat, the get his graphic up, god damn it, the Talk for Glory Superstar of the Year of 2023, Will Ospreay. So crowns up, guys. Versus whose house? The Mongol, the landlord, the house owner, Swerve Strickland. Now this match had it. It had that I don't know who's winning this. I'm on the edge of my seat kind of vibe. I didn't think that Swerve would win. I didn't think Will would win. I sat there and just went, I don't know. I don't know who. And even though Don Callis came out of God fuck nowhere, that didn't kill the match for me fully. Killed about 2% of me. But back and forth this match went. And I will be telling you guys right now that Swerve Strickland versus Will Ospreay is getting the Talk for Glory star rating. So if you guys think another match deserves that, comment down below what's your best match. But this match had everything. What it didn't have me thinking was, hey, Swerve's gonna hit a hidden blade. That was fucking awesome. And then seeing AJ pull out not AJ, goddamn it, look what happened. Seeing Will Ospreay pull out a Styles Clash was awesome. And I love the fact that this match went down to the bitter end. No cheating, no bullshit, no heel turns. Will just ran out of energy at the last second. Well, Swerve had just a little bit more, and that little bit more brought Swerve the AEW World Championship. As a lot of people thought we would be walking out with 2 belts, Billy. No, it's still Swerve's house. And now we look to the future and think, what's next? We already know what's next for Will Ospreay. It's Daniel Garcia. But for Swerve, what's next for him? I don't think it's MJF. I don't think that. But who do you guys think is Swerve Strickland's next challenger? Now, before I close this out, guys, because this is Forbidden Door, I do want to close this out with a big question. First off, I want to thank everyone for joining the Talk for Glory Forbidden Door review. And before I do the whole closeout check, I want to ask a big question. What is your Forbidden Door match? if you can book one match at Forbidden Door, what would you put? And it can be from any company. So maybe it's someone from WWE versus someone from AEW, someone from AEW versus someone from New Japan. Maybe it's someone from CMLL versus TNA. But with that being said, actually, let me say mine. My AEW versus New Japan Forbidden Door match is Bullet Club War Dogs versus Bullet Club Gold. I think that's a missed opportunity we could have had here. That and Claudio versus Jeff Cobb for the TV title. But with all that being said, guys, I want to thank everyone that's been listening. I want to thank the comments that was there. I hope everyone enjoyed Forbidden Door, whether you watched it, whether you were there live and met some cool people there. I hope you guys enjoyed the entrance videos. But guys, remember guys to follow the socials. You guys already know. Screenshot it, video record, do whatever the hell you guys want, whatever you guys can do to follow the socials. Not gonna say them again. You guys know what to do. But while I'm saying this, you guys know to drop a like, drop a sub, stay safe, and above all else, enjoy wrestling.